Greetings and welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society presents Goosebumps, I guess. Brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, reader beware. R.L. Stein might give us a copyright strike. With that being said, we are reading a Give Yourself Goosebumps, Choose Your Own Adventure book. We've decided, because I read the backs of all of them, to which the backs are heavily spoilery. Yeah. but I guess we're gonna go forward with it. We decided we're doing a little experiment tonight, so we're doing number 3, Trapped in Batwing Hall. Ooh, Batwing, just like that thing we used to do in high school.
No,
I did that.
Just like it. So here's
one specifically did that,
and apparently people besides me remember that.
I know. I've seen it.
Shut up for a minute. so here's how this is gonna work, because we're adding a little bit of a game to this. Oh, hey, a bookmark. That's cool. The way this is gonna work is all of us are technically playing a character. Like, it's gonna say you, but we're gonna pretend that we're all our own characters. And whenever a decision comes up, I'm either gonna roll a dice, or we're just gonna have whoever feels the strongest about the decision will be their character making the decision. If they die, you can obviously still stick around, but your character is dead. We go back to the original decision and make a brand new decision. Once we get through all of us and all of us die, that's the canonical ending that we get.
Okay. All right,
I don't
sound
okay. Ways to die. Have you ever done one of these?
Have you ever died?
I mean, when I was a kid. That's the thing. This is kind of a test run. We might do I have the first one, Escape the Carnival of Horrors, but I want to save that for MythosCon if we have it. The other one sounded fucking stupid.
Can you make it so we die instead of not die? Because I'm pretty sure you don't die.
I think you do die in some of them. I remember being sawed in half on a log fuel.
Do you really?
I remember being pulled underground by skeletons or something.
That's awesome.
Man, if it happens to me again, oh my god.
I'm gonna be so mad.
The trauma from my childhood becomes real again. I don't think I
hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
Am I right, guys? Am I right?
Here we go. Shall I begin? It says, beware, do not read this book from beginning to end. Making friends in your new town is harder than you thought. The kids in your school are members of the horror club. They have their meetings after dark in Batwing Hall, a rundown house that's haunted by a ghost of Professor Krupnik. When the horror club decides to play a spooky game, you really want to join in, but then you find out you'll have to search the professor's cursed crypt in the cemetery, or face an ancient okay, this is a little spoilery. You're in control of this scary adventure. You decide what will happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, blah blah blah. If you make the wrong choices, beware. So take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 now to give yourself goosebumps.
Hey Dave, I hate to spoil it for you, but all Goosebumps books are heavily spoiled themselves by usually the cover and the title.
Yeah, I was about to say the back of this flat out told us the whole story.
Yeah.
This town stinks. That's how this
ain't no duck hives.
This town stinks.
Sawed in half.
This town stinks. It's Friday afternoon, the end of your first week at your new school. Your family just moved to this town last month, and so far no one at school has even tried to be your friend, except for we're a whole gang of kids that have no friends, I guess, that all just moved here. Day after day, you sit in class waiting for someone to talk to you. Way to show initiative. Waiting and staring at all the strange faces around you. How can you possibly go through the year without any friends? You wonder. You're cool, you know you are. You had tons of friends at your old school. You trudge home slowly. All you have to look forward to is a boring weekend of watching TV with your parents and your bratty little brother. Then something hits the back of your jacket. You whirl around, a pebble drops to the ground. You glance up, you notice a brown-haired boy about your own age. Hi, he calls out. I'm Nick. Hi. You reply and introduce yourself. Did you guys want to make up character names while I continue to read? We're in the same class at school, Nick says. That's funny, you think. You don't remember seeing him there. Oh, that's why it's funny. But you smile anyway. You're so happy someone is finally talking to you. I live here. There, Nick tells you. He points to a 2-story greenhouse on the next block. You gaze back at him, shocked. But you can't live there, you exclaim. There's no way. Continue to page 2.
It's the cemetery.
What do you mean I can't live there? Nick asks, laughing. I know my own house. I live next door, you tell him. You point to the red brick house next to the green one. The greenhouse has been empty all month. There haven't been any lights on, no cars in the driveway. I was on vacation with my family. We got back last night, Nick says. What do you think of school? Okay, I guess, you reply. You're afraid to say anything more. You never know. Maybe this kid, Nick, actually likes school. Ew. Can you believe how much homework our teacher gave us this weekend? Nick complains. He kicks a stone down the street as you walk. All the kids who had Mr. McCormick last year says he's really tough and mean and a total monster. Probably literally in this case. You agree. The next thing you know, you and Nick are comparing favorite rock groups. I almost thought it said favorite rocks. Comic books. Both of you collect Spider-Man comics. Nick has the
more of a course
from
guy
the last
myself.
5 years too. Comics are cool, Nick says. But do you know what's even cooler? Drugs. No. What, you ask? Horror stories, Nick exclaims. In fact, he stops talking and stares at you. Turn to page 3. Oh, wow. What? You ask. What about horror stories? It's probably way too scary for you, Nick replies. Nothing's too scary for me, you boast. That's because you've never been to Horror Club, Nick says. What's that? We all have the same voice. Nick grins. It's a club I belong to. You've got to be really brave to be a member. When we meet, you do spooky stories. This is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Really scary. Cool, you reply. I love scary stories. Can I join? If you think you can handle it, Nick says. We meet every Friday night at Batwing Hall. That's the deserted... What? Is somebody smoking glue?
No,
Chris is getting an enema.
Yeah, I'm just getting an enema, boys. Don't worry about it.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep going. Oh, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I can't take spooky stories. That's the deserted house at the end of our street. It was old Professor Krupnik's house. I've seen the house. It looks haunted. You tell Nick with a laugh. Don't laugh. He warns you. It is haunted. Turn to page 100.
Quick sidebar while you're turning pages. Has anyone actually lived down the street from like an abandoned house?
Didn't we?
Have you guys?
I don't think so.
I had one in my neighborhood growing up.
I mean, I have one like 2 blocks over.
I thought we did. I thought there was like an abandoned house on our block.
There's one in the neighborhood where we go trick-or-treating. There's like an actual spooky abandoned house.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah.
Haunted?
It's always good.
For real? You ask.
Yeah.
I ask you. Is it really haunted? Yeah, was it really?
I mean, maybe it looks like something bad happened there. Like it was, there's like cars and stuff, and there's notices on the cars from like 2002 or something.
Ooh.
Like it's very weird. Yeah.
There's blood in the window, and it's just.
There's a skeleton in the doorway. I don't know how the police missed it.
I shall continue. Haunted, for real, you ask? For real, Nick replies seriously. That's why we picked it. Some of the scariest shit you've ever heard of. Like, what?
Oh my god.
Just
I forgot our
I'm just gonna inject.
Up the language.
It's like, it was written in the 90s where some swears didn't count back then.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna totally inject bad words into this. Like what? Like the story of the kids on Halloween night, Nick says. They were all dressed up, trick-or-treating, you know. They rang Krupnik's doorbell. A figure dressed in all black answered, and the kids were invited inside. Only they never came out. What happened? You ask breathlessly. Nobody knows, Nick replies, but late at night, you can still hear the kids' screams. Horrible screams. And when the moon is full, some people say they've even seen little critters, little creatures in monster costumes roaming about the inside of a house, trapped forever. Little critters like a hamster or like sometimes a gerbil. Wow, great story, you say. It's not a story, Nick tells you. Being a member of the horror club can be very dangerous. Very dangerous, he pauses, then adds, today's Friday. We meet tonight. Do you want to come? What do you think? Do we risk it and go to horror club tonight? Turn to page 17? Or say thanks anyway and turn to page 91?
Let's go home.
No way, we don't do peer pressure, boys. That's one thing I learned in
Just say no to horror stories and drugs. I learned
We're
that.
good little boys.
Sounds like a cult move thing.
Did we want one of us to turn to page 91 and lose your character right away?
I'll do it. I mean,
Yes.
I have to go to bed
Chris gotta
anyway.
go see
Yeah,
it.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris is gonna go to page 91.
That's it.
That sounds like an ending to me. Far enough into the end of the book.
Great choice. Now you're stuck at home with nothing to do. Sure, you can clean out your closet or play stupid board games with your little brother, but that doesn't change things. You still have no friends, you're still bored. But wait, you have one last chance. You hurry to the big yellow phone book. You look up Nick's phone number, you grab a phone to dial it. It rings and rings. And then you hear Nick's voice. Hello? Finish your conversation on page 17. Or we can go back.
Oh,
to
man.
this.
Oh,
Oh,
it
page
loops you back
17
in.
actually is where we were supposed to go, so we just go back to page 17.
Brings you
So
back.
Change
we
your
went
mind.
home, realized that we would rather risk our lives at horror club anyway. Because
Than be alone.
Wait, hold on. Who said anything about risking our lives at horror club?
We're gonna risk our lives. We're gonna give ourselves goosebumps. Okay. Horror club sounds great.
I'm allergic
Nick.
to geese.
Count me in. I'll meet you in front of your house at 9 o'clock tonight. Nick says, you can't text me or call me on my cell phone because those things don't exist yet. You agree and say goodbye. Then you rush
Ring
into
my
the kitchen to
pager.
find your parents. Oh, that's awesome. You rush into
Gosh.
your kitchen to find your parents and you tell them you've made a friend and you've been invited to a club meeting. They're so happy for you. Of course, you don't tell them that it's gonna be a bunch of drugs in a deserted, boarded up house. At 9 o'clock, you join Nick under the elm tree in your front yard. Skinny, fidgety girl with messy, long hair waits with Nick. This is Debbie. He tells you she's sick. No, she's a member
Real
of the
sicko.
club.
She's sick. She's real sick.
Real sick. Do you have medicine? She needs penicillin.
She needs medicine. Hi. Debbie says you can barely see her face under all of her thick hair, and she always seems to be squirming about. You wonder what's with this strange girl. You follow your new friends up the hill to go to the end of the long, dark street. The farther you go, the fewer houses there are. At the end of the road, all the streetlights are out. The sky is pitch black. If it weren't for Nick's flashlight, you'd probably trip over your own feet. There it is, Nick says, pointing. Batwing Hall. Turn to page 96.
Really, it's 9 o'clock at night. We're gonna pass around Nick's fleshlight. Everyone gets a turn.
I brought my dad's flashlight.
Sorry, I wasn't ready.
Oh, God.
Just passing it around.
yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds terrible. Yeah.
It's so much worse.
A
Oh,
huge,
my-
dark shadow looms at the end of the street. It's the mansion. You stop walking and gaze up at it. Nick shines his flashlight at the old house on the hill. Batwing Hall is a two-story old-fashioned house. All the windows that are boarded up are broken. Loose shingles flap from the roof. Paint peels from the weathered sides of the house. It looks as if no one has lived here for hundreds of years.
Hundreds.
Child brain.
Yeah, it was built around the Greeks.
Yes. It explains the columns in the front.
You climb up to the sagging porch with Nick and Debbie. Tall, overgrown trees and bushes cast eerie shadows across the deserted lawn. Isn't this place awesome? Debbie whispers to you. Really cool, you agree. This house has been empty for 2 years, Nick tells you. We all have voices now. Ever since crazy old Professor Krupnik died. Wait. No, it could have been built a long time ago, but it's only been empty for 2 years.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
No one will buy it because it's haunted, Debbie explains. You notice she's chewing nervously at the ends of her long hair. Yuck!
the end of a piece of bacon.
End of a pea.
Bacon that she had in her pocket all day.
She's 247 pounds in the 5th grade.
She's not gonna make it to 6.
She's been sweating the whole time.
She's always sweating. Why is she always sweating? The front door was boarded up until we figured out how to pry it open, Debbie says. She points to a large wooden door. Let's go. You take a step forward. Stop, Nick says. Get down, now! If you do as Nick says, hurry to page 19. If you ignore him and head for the door, go to page 85. What do we do?
I'm ignoring him and heading for the door.
Yes.
Grand Funk
Okay,
Railroad
this is
begins to
Tom's
play.
decision.
I'm gonna break it down. Get down now. Dance moves.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Break it
So,
out.
did we want to count?
Yeah, get down.
I'm not sure, like, do we count Chris as just staying at home with his little brother?
Yeah. I mean, in this weird version of rules you made.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to
Hey,
make
man,
it so
yeah,
that we
yeah.
aren't reading an entire book all night. But
David home with
Tom
my little
says
brother.
he ignores him and goes
Yeah,
to
I'm not
page
sure
85.
how hard these decisions are going to be to make.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, he's playing Tails. I'm
Here's
Sonic.
Tom. Here's Tom. Nick's just trying to scare you, you think. He's testing you to see if you're brave enough for the horror club. You shrug and rush forward. You dash across the porch and squeeze through a narrow space in the boards covering the front door. You land on your knees with a thud. As soon as you hit the floor, a piercing alarm sounds throughout the house. What's going on? You wonder. You gaze around.
You shot for trespassing.
Nick
Shot
and Debbie
for
are nowhere to be
trespassing.
found. The dark house seems empty. You hold your ears, trying to block out the horrible noise. Then, through a dusty window, you see lights. Red, whirling lights. The police! You have set off a burglar alarm. Now you're in big trouble. How will you ever explain this to the police or to your mom and dad? Too bad. It looks as if your adventure is over before it even began.
Aw.
The end. Tom
Tom got
got
arrested.
There it
arrested by the
is.
cops.
Nice.
Jail. I'm not going
Nice.
back to jail.
You'll never get me alive.
No, I'm
And
about to say you got to use
as we-
the
as we
typical
know-
Tom move. He reaches for the gun.
He reaches for the gun.
Cop's gun.
Tom's go-to move. Reach for the gun.
Every
I guess the
time.
rest of
Now,
us go to
now I'm
page
gonna
19.
have to do it in every opportunity. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, wait, do you want to describe how in that decision your character dies?
Yes, dude, you got it.
Oh, we got it. We know it.
He reaches.
You gotta die.
I reach for the gun and then they tase me in the nuts till my balls explode and I bleed out.
The rest of us ducked while Tom was arrested. What is it? You cry as your body hits the ground. We've got to be careful, Nick whispers. If anyone catches us going in the front door, we could be in big trouble. We're not really allowed to be in here. You nod and watch Debbie as she squirms and glances around nervously. You wonder why your new
Yeah,
friends
girl.
are so jumpy. You can't imagine how anyone could possibly see you in the darkness. But you figure Nick and Debbie know what they're doing. You stand and follow Nick and Debbie across the porch, keeping as quiet as possible. You pull off the broken boards in the front door. You enter the dark house. The air in the entryway is stale and dusty. You hold back a sneeze. Nick motions for you to follow him. You creep after Nick and Debbie down a dark hallway. The floorboards creak loudly with each step. Then you enter a big, dimly lit living room. A broken chandelier sways from the ceiling. The faded wallpaper hangs in pieces from the walls. Dirty sheets cover what appears to be old sofas and chairs. And then you see them. Turn to page 75. Man, this would have been cool if Tom didn't get shot by the police.
Yep.
Oh man.
He would have dug this the most.
That's
Four
Tom.
kids sit in a
Never
circle
goes down
on the
without a fight.
floor. 4 kids sit in a circle on the living room floor. A big yellow candle flickers in the center. They all turn and stare at you. No one seems happy to see you. You stand awkwardly as Nick introduces you and says, "This is our newest member." "What are you talking about?" cries a girl with short, curly red hair. She glares at you. "I've brought a new member to the horror club," Nick repeats. "Not today!" exclaims a large boy with bulging arm muscles. That's his voice now. "Well, why not?" Debbie asks, squirming next to you. Squirm next to you. "Didn't anyone tell you?" asks another girl with the same voice. "Tonight's the special night. You've got to get that kid out of here. We're not telling stories tonight. The plan has changed." Discover what's happening tonight on page 128. Nick and Debbie quickly leave your side and huddle together with the other kids. You can hear them arguing about you. Then one of the voices rises above the others. "But today is the game. You know what that means." I don't," you suddenly call out. You're sick of standing there, and you want to know what's going on. You fart a little bit. It works. All 6 kids stop arguing. The girl with the red hair steps forward toward you. I'm Marcy, she tells you.
I just shit a little.
Just a little. There's no stories tonight. We're playing games instead, but the new members can't play. It's the rule. Can't you break the rules just this one time, you ask? These aren't ordinary games, warns the boy with the large muscles. Large, glistening muscles. These games are scary.
Yeah.
Really scary. The scarier the better, you announce bravely.
Oh, yeah.
This starts another argument. The kids want you to stay and play, others want you to leave. Debbie hurries over to your side. Through her mane of dark hair, she whispers, Go home now. But at that moment, Marcy announces, it's decided you can stay and play games with us. Great, you say, ignoring Debbie, as you always should. What are we playing?
Yeah.
Learn about the games on page 66. Limp Bizkit.
Oh, no.
My dad's flashlight.
My Limp Bizkit.
Oh no.
The game is called The Hunt, Marcy tells
chocolate
you.
starfish.
I'm the captain of the blue team. Nick is the captain of the red team. You watch as Nick picks Debbie and a skinny boy named Connor to be on his team. Connor has short, bristly hair with very strange smell. As Connor walks by, you decide he smells as if he's been lying in a dumpster. What a fucking kid. For the blue team, Marcy chooses a beautiful girl with long blonde hair and green eyes. Her name is Laura. She smiles shyly at you. Marcy also picks the guy in the mustache. Hi, I'm Martin. This is the kid pounding you.
He lays you down.
He then laughs, then flexes his muscles. You come a little bit. You step back. Martin's arm is bigger than your whole body. That's 3 on each team, Marcy announces. Our new member can join either one. She turns to you. It's up to you. Which team will you join? Would you rather hang out with Nick, Debbie?
Muscle Man, for sure.
We're not hanging out with the stink boy.
Yeah, hang out with, the guy who lives in the house that was bacon all year, the skinny, squirmy girl, and the kid that smells like a dumpster? Or do you want to hang out with the hot girl, the weird girl, and the dude that's got, like, super muscles on the blue team?
Super muscles.
This is one we probably have to all make in unison. Like, we can't split this
I'm
vote.
dead, but still. Yeah.
No, you can still debate. I don't want you to be completely out of the thing. It's just once all of our characters are dead.
My purple-headed soldier is standing at attention. Ready.
You want to join Team Hotness?
If you go with Team Hotness, the chances are you're the last one to die.
Or we're the ugliest person on the team.
Yeah, if you're the ugliest person on the team, that means you'll live.
Oh, I see what you mean. Ty, what do you think?
Never a bad play.
We gotta go with Team Hot. We gotta go with Team Hot.
Team Hot?
Team Hot.
It's 2 for
Hot
Team
Boy
Hot?
Summer.
Hot Boy Summer.
Is that 3 for Team Hot?
Hot Boy Summer.
Hot Ghoul Summer.
Yep.
Hot ghouls this time of year. Turn to page 33 to join Blue Team.
There are hot ghouls in your neighborhood.
Hot ghouls. Ghouls Gone Wild. Page 33.
Nice.
Welcome to the Blue Team, Marcy says with a smile. Glad you're on the team, Martin adds. He crushes your hand in a hearty handshake.
Oh,
So what are we playing, you ask? The game is called The Hunt. I just fucking said that, Laura. What are we hunting for, you ask? Marcy's voice drops down to croaking whisper. The creepiest, most terrifying fucking things you can find, she says. We vote on which team finds the scariest stuff, Martin explains. If you haven't chickened out by then, you little puss.
Why did we pick Team Hot if you're so mean?
I'll make your voice. I'll give you a croaking whisper.
Don't worry about me, you say. I love a good scare. Come on, Laura says. Let's get this game going. You follow your teammates outside. Marcy goes first. Her flashlight beam bounces around the overgrown yard, making weird yellow shadows. Good one, R.L. Stein. You begin scanning the yard, but Martin stops you. Not here, he says. You're the newest member. You have to pass the test. Test? You don't like the sound of that. Martin grins and points across the street. You go there. Cemetery. Turn to page 106. So we're not even in the house anymore?
Thank God we don't have to. Thank God we don't have to arm wrestle him.
Yeah, jeez, he would have fucking killed us.
We'd dead. Yeah, we'd be dead.
We'd be so dead. We'd be dead like Tom.
Just like Tom.
Not like Tom. Tom's was. They want
He
you to
was
search a
riddled with bullets.
cemetery all
We'd
by
be riddled
yourself.
by abs.
They want you to search a cemetery all by yourself. You're about to say, "No way, Jose!"
Great.
But then you figure that's just what they expect you to do. You'll show them. Great, you declare. I bet I'll find the winning object. You even kinda mean it. After all, if the game is won you by finding the scariest stuff, then your teammates just handed you an easy score. What better place to look for that than in a cemetery? Blip, blip, blip. You give your teammates the thumbs up and hurry across.
He's got to
the street.
dig up a dead body.
I gotta find a dead body. The cemetery is really old and most of the gravestones are chipped.
That's all you gotta do.
As you stumble over a lumpy grave, you feel something grab at your ankle. You yelp and jump back. Phew! It was just a gnarled root. The moonlight casts an eerie shadow, creating strange shadow. Okay. Moonlight casts an eerie glow, creating strange shadows. You carefully make your way towards the small building. There's enough light for you to read the words Krupnik Crypt carved in the stone over the doorway. Here's your chance to impress your new friends. You know you'll find something scary inside a crypt. But do you have the nerve to enter? Turn to page 69.
Hey.
Hey, it's the funny number. Alright, this is the decision page.
That sounded like a rap group.
Turn to page 69.
Yeah, what's
Or the
up?
Krupnik Crypt.
Krupnik Crypt.
There it is. I get it. You approach the heavy stone door of the crypt. Instead of a doorknob, it has a thick iron ring. Chiseled into the stone above the ring are these words. Who turns the stone will grow bat bones. What could that possibly mean, you wonder? A sudden movement.
Wait, is that what it said?
Yeah, I'm gonna grow bat bones. Near the top of the crypt, you see a
We'll
small
grow
hole about your size. While you watch, a tiny
Bat what?
flies out of the hole and
It's
flutters
bones.
into the night. Outrageous,
Bones.
you think? That's completely outrageous. Maybe you can catch a bat inside the crypt. That would win the contest for sure, or you'll get rabies. But how will you get inside? The door is covered with cobwebs. Obviously, it hasn't been opened in a long time. Maybe you can climb to the top of the crypt and crawl through the hole the bat came out of, or maybe you should just try to pull the big stone door open. It might work. Which will you try? Okay, so if we crawl through the hole, we have to turn to page 32, or if we try to open the stone door, we turn to page 9. I don't want to grow bat bones.
Why not? They're probably efficient, right?
I say do it.
You guys know? Do you guys know there's ways to stop rabies from taking hold, but there's no way to
There's no way
Or
to
lose
what?
your-
incurable.
It's incurable.
Like you'll die if you get
Yeah.
rabies.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was in something I watched
Isn't
recently.
that wild?
Wow.
There was a. It was.
There are
Oh, it
ways
was.
to
In a,
stop
I was listening to a
hold,
spooky
like-
video.
If you contract it.
Yeah, you can like prevent it up to a certain point, and then you're fucked.
Guys, that's so fucking scary. I
Yep.
bleed.
So we don't want to get rabies. Which choice
Okay,
gives us
yeah.
not rabies?
Oh, I didn't know.
Get that.
I didn't know we agreed
Ty,
on not getting.
what?
Bum, 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 bum.
I don't want to have rabies. What's going to give us not rabies?
So wait, you don't. You.
I do-
rabies
So
summer?
who turns the stone will grow bat bones. So I assume that means if you open the stone door, you'll get bat bones. But if you crawl through the hole, that's where the bat came from. So that's probably gonna bite you.
Turn the stone.
Yeah, stone. I say stone then.
So Ty, you say the stone, or Jason, who
Yeah.
wants to be the owner of this decision?
Ooh.
Sounds like
I'm
the
gonna have
beginning of a
character too, so I'm
hentai.
also a life, by the way.
I don't know. I'm fine with it, Jason. You want to take it? Or you want me to take it?
About to get
I mean, I'm also. I'll take it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay, so you're gonna try to open the stone door, but turn to page 9. You step up to the door and grasp the ring with both your hands. It's covered in rust and cobwebs, and you have a feeling it hasn't been moved in a very long time. You pull on it, but the thing won't budge. You clutch the ring even tighter and put all of your weight into it. A hideous screeching noise fills the air. What is making that ghastly sound? Slowly, the heavy stone door
Yeah.
swings open. Holding your breath, you tiptoe inside. You see a large casket sitting on a stone platform in the middle of the dark room. For a moment, you can't move. You stare at the casket and think, there's a dead
There's
person
people
in
down the
there.
stairs.
A dead person. Yikes! Something just grabbed at your hair. You brush it away and gasp. A butter bat. A bat flutters off into the darkness, its fangs glinting in the moonlight. Maybe catching a bat isn't such a great idea. You could get rabies, you decide. You quickly search the tomb for scary stuff to bring back to your teammates, but you find nothing except dust and cobwebs. With a final glance, you leave the tomb and rejoin your friends. There's only one problem. You don't see them anywhere. You're all alone. Page 90.
Oh no, we've been abandoned.
All by myself.
I guess we're still going. Laura, you call out, Martin, Marcy! The only answer is the wind rustling through the trees.
Really?
Your eyes search the cemetery, but your gaze falls only on the crumbling headstones. You glance across the street at the mansion, but it's completely dark. Has everyone gone home? Another bat flies by and you decide not to wait around. You race out of the cemetery and head for home. Later that night, you don't feel very well. Your shoulders ache and your fingers are maybe you're getting sick. You hope not. That's the sound of the transformation. Is coming from Chris. You're getting sick, you hope not.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I was just doing fucking shit. You climb into bed and drift off into troubled sleep. When you awaken a few hours later, it's still dark and you feel even worse.
You're the star
Maybe a
player.
drink of water would make you feel better. I kind of could use a drink of water right now. As you get up, you notice that your hands seem to be very stiff. You glance down and see something dark between all of your fingers. This must be the shadows in the room.
Come.
You think your feet don't seem to be working very well.
Nocturnal emission.
It's a nocturnal emission. But somehow you make your way to the bathroom. You reach up to flip the light, but the light switch isn't where it's supposed to be. Instead, it's 3 feet above you, and the bathroom mirror is even higher. What is going on? Turn to page 124.
We bat now.
We the bat. We got
Somehow,
rabies.
since you went to bed, your bathroom is now its normal size, or you've shrunk. I must be wet dreaming, you think? Because I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You climb up on this bathroom sink and stare into the mirror.
Gonna suck
Face
it dry.
gazing out from the mirror isn't your own. It's the furry face of a small, hairy creature with a short nose, huge ears, and tiny white fangs. It's the face of a bat. You wink your right eye, and to your horror, the bat in the mirror winks at the same time. The bat in the mirror is you! I don't know how many times I have to tell you, you are the bat in the mirror. No! You scream. It comes out as a tiny squeak. This can't be real, you think. It's got to be a dream, right? A wet one? You try to pinch yourself, but it just makes you come more. But you can't work your bat fingers. You can't work your stupid fucking bat fingers. You continue to stare at your reflection, horrified. How could this have happened? You think back to over the last evening. You try to remember every detail. It's probably the stone thing that you saw. You hung out with your new friends at the horror club. There was a contest to find the scariest things, and then you remember something else, something that sends a chill down your furry little back. Turn to 102.
On your furry little ass.
This is a decision page. I figured I'd let you know if it's a decision page, so I'm not just like constantly leading you guys on to think that it's gonna happen. You remember the Krupnik Crypt, and the only living creature you saw was a bat that flew out of the tomb. With a gnawing fear, your mind plays over the words carved in the crypt. Who turns the stone will grow bat bones. You should have realized it was a warning, but no, you had to go ahead and turn that stupid stone, you piece of shit. That must have been how this happened. You have tried frantically to remember everything about the crypt, any tiny little detail that could help you. You could picture the crypt and suddenly crawl that you left the stone door open. Maybe if you turn the stone again, closing the door of the crypt, you'll be transformed back. Should you return to the cemetery now, you're not sure if you can even find it in the dark, or would it be better to go to sleep and wait until morning? Maybe when you wake up, you'll be back to normal. I'm gonna wait until morning, so that'll be my character's decision.
We gotta go. I think we gotta go now.
Yeah. You think we gotta go now? Okay, so I'm gonna go to page 53, because I'm pretty sure that's an end. It just kind of gives me a vibe it is.
There's nothing like a full night's sleep, you know, to put things in perspective.
To become a full bat.
You wake up the next morning in your own bed feeling normal. You scrunch your eyes tight and raise your hands to your face. You're almost afraid to look. You count to 3 and force your eyes open. Hooray, no more Batwings. Your hands are back. Yeah, fuck yeah. Everything that happened the night before must have been a dream. A terrible dream. Wet dream. You rush to the bathroom to examine your face in the mirror. There's no trace of whiskers or fur or big bat's ears. You've never been so happy to see your goofy grin. You brush your teeth, comb your hair, and get dressed, whistling the whole time. You skip down the stairs and into the kitchen. The aroma of pancakes cooking fills the room. How many pancakes this morning? Your mom asks. 3, you tell her. You stupid bitch. You pour the syrup on a stack and start to eat. But today the pancakes don't taste good. They're too soft, and the syrup is too sweet. You can't help thinking they'd be better with beetles on them. I think I'll eat later, you tell your mom. You stand up and slip on a jacket, step outside into the bright sunshine, and discover you've made the biggest mistake of your life. Jesus Christ. This is not an ending, is the thing. So do we just keep going with this? Or should I
just keep going with it, yeah. Let's keep going with it.
Yeah, I guess if one of us makes the bet on your life, I guess you have to keep going with it if it works. Okay. So hurry, turn to page 40. You stand outside and your skin feels like it's on fire. The sun's glare forces your eyes shut. You duck back inside, wondering what's wrong. Then you try going out again.
Oh, nice.
The same thing happens. For some reason, you can't stand to be out in the sun. With growing horror, the answer comes to you. You're still a fucking bat. That's gotta be it. You're in human form now, but the transformation must still be in effect. Bats, you remember, sleep during the day and canonically burn in the sunlight when they walk outside.
Like vampires, yes.
They don't go out in the sun. You need some time to think. I have a headache, you tell your mom. I'm going back to bed. Are you sick? She asks and presses her hand against your forehead. You don't seem to have a fever. I'll be alright.
Yeah, fucking sick of you, Mom.
Yeah, fuck you, Mom.
I'm gonna be a bat now, Mom.
I'm a bat now, Mom. Fuck you, I do what I want. You go back to your room. You turn off all the lights and pull down the shades. Then you crawl back into bed and think about your problem. What are you going to do? And then the answer comes to you. Turn to page 74. Is that where I would have gone anyway? No, it isn't. Okay, so turn to page 74. Then the answer comes to you. You're just gonna fucking stay a bat. This is fucking cool. You don't have to do homework as a bat.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right.
You've got to go back to Crupton Crip right now. Luckily, your mom works on Saturday. Are you sure you'll be alright? She works at the club on Saturday, you know. She's trying to find her club. Yes, pointing her head into the dark bedroom before you leave. I'm fine, you tell her. Just tired. The second you hear the front door slam. Slam, she's mad. You pull on a turtleneck, a heavy coat, gloves, dark glasses, a hat. That should protect you from the sun. Only it doesn't. You manage to get as far as the end of the driveway before your skin starts to blister. You'll have to wait until dark. That evening, you tell your parents you're going to a movie with a friend. Dad doesn't know what Mom does for a living. From the window in your room, you watch the sun sink below the horizon. As soon as it sets, you turn to leave for the mansion. But the floor has suddenly become very far away. You watch in horror as black hair sprout all over your arms. Your fingers stiffen, black webs spread between them. Your mouth tingles, and fangs burst through your gums. You hang your furry head as you realize the sad truth. You're a bat again. It's 92.
Here to win this set.
Stein is taking us on a roller coaster here.
Yeah, I keep thinking we're not going to be a bat, and bam, we're a bat again.
You keep being
I
wild,
man. Like we would have been a bat either way. Like
I hate these guys that made us a bat. Ooh, I hate these guys that made us a bat. You don't want to spend the rest of your life as a bat. You've got to get to the fruit. You decide to fly, luckily. The window is slightly open. You duck through it and glide out into the cool evening air. You realize you need to practice using your wings. First you try flapping, then you soar up and down. It's kind of fun, dipping and swooping all over the backyard. You also like your cool sonar system. Through your super bat ears, you're able to hear through thousands of times. Thousands of times better than you could as a human. Insects sound a lot like cars did when you were a kid. Something makes you a flapping sound to your right. Without even looking, your sonar tells you it's a gnat. A thundering buzz, like the sound of a chainsaw, comes from the June bug. You cannot
rev up a chainsaw real quick.
You can tell where.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Your sonar informs you that a large moth is fluttering in the trees just ahead. The thought of a moth makes your mouth water. You realize you're very, very hungry. A moth?
Wait,
you're going to eat a moth? Find out what a moth tastes like.
Fuck yeah.
37.
Yeah.
Was this the whole time? Kai, you got to make this decision.
Yeah, we gotta eat the bug.
You make it right.
We gotta eat the bug.
Kai's got to eat a bug.
Eating the bug.
Hell yeah, gotta.
I'm gonna laugh if this is like an ending and it's like you just decide you love being a bat.
No kind of moth.
Your bat's stomach insists moths are delicious. Following the sonar, you swoop into the tree and grab the insect in your jaws. This is a decision page, by the way, and it has 3 choices. The body feels soft and powdery, and the bitter flavor makes you want to hurl, but you're starving, gagging.
Wait, I thought we said we liked the
moth. Then you zoom after another moth.
How many hours do you spend catching moths? That is the choice here.
You better keep throwing another moth. You gag on the moth.
You fly.
A female bat flies up to you and says, "You're gagging. Is this your first time?"
It's Muscle Bat, our friend, the Muscle Bat.
Muscle Bat.
Meal, you head straight for the graveyard.
Wait, are they all
Corrupted
bad?
crypt, landing on top of the open door. The door is bigger than you remembered, but you're then you're a lot smaller. You drop to the ground, try pushing against it. It doesn't move, you stupid idiot. Even an inch, you fly into it, but all that happens is you bruise your wings. Well, you do. As a bat, you're too weak to close the door. When you're a human, you can't leave the house. When you think of your horror club, then you think of your horror club team. Maybe you could get them to help you. But who should I ask first? Martin's the strongest, Laura's the friendliest, and Marcy seems the bravest. Quick, decide who to visit and fly to their house. This sounds like one we all have to agree on. Do we want to visit?
The weird one will probably help us, but I do love the Chad.
You love the Chad?
I love the Chad, but the weird girl will help us probably for sure.
Well, the weird girl isn't. The weird girl's Debbie.
The weird girl
Martin
might be
is the one with the big muscles. Laura's the hot one, and Marcy's just kind of like the team leader, I guess. I never really got like a vibe out of her.
Oh, okay.
Go to the team.
Hot water muscle boy.
Gotta go Chad.
Yeah,
we gotta go.
We gotta go with our muscle boy and his muscles. 36.
Rippling pecs.
Rippling pecs. You know that Martin lives somewhere in your neighborhood and his hot muscles can totally open the door. You fly around reading mailboxes until you find Martin's house. It says Martin on the mailbox.
What?
But you're
Sorry, wait, one more time.
that no one's home.
What grade are we in? This guy's jacked. Usually, like, Goosebumps is usually like 10 and 12-year-olds, not like
he's jacked.
high school age.
We might be adding to the story.
No, he's got muscles. It's been saying muscles canonically in the book this whole time. How glisten they are is what I've been doing.
How they glisten in the sun.
Yeah. But your sonar tells you that no one's home. You decide to wait. You flit all around the house, peering in windows. Finally, you spot a room with posters from horror movies on the walls. This must be Martin's room. Martin's big brother is just railing his girlfriend.
Nice!
You don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're wrestling.
She's losing. She keeps calling out for help. Oh God, she screams.
Do you shout words of encouragement at her? You fly in through an open window on the perch upside on the curtain rod. Somehow you feel very comfortable with the floor over your head and the ceiling under your feet. You feel so relaxed you start to doze off. The next thing you know, something is squeezing you hard. You open your eyes. A man with a brown beard has you in his fist, and he's crushing you in his grip. Look what we have here, he says in excitement. Be careful, Dad, cries Martin. Don't worry, Martin's father says. I've got the bat trapped. It can't bite me. I feel like it can, though.
Give him rabies.
I'm me, you squeak, but they don't understand. What are you going to do with it, Dad? Martin asks. There's only one solution, he says, shoving you in a paper bag. Go to page 60.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it into the heat compressor and just let it just smash the thing.
Just yeet you.
Freaking no, wait! Instant pot.
You flap your wings frantically, trying to escape the paper bag. It's no use. You're trapped. You feel the bag being lifted and carried through the house, down the stairs, and outside into the cool night air. You hear the slam of the door, then rumble of an engine. You're in the car, but where are you going? About 10 minutes later, the car screeches to a stop. You're picked up and carried across a winding footpath. Here we are, Dad. Martin's dad announces. Thank you so much, the strange, deep voice replies. It's always. What are you doing?
These are all the noises that happen.
Me?
This is just the ambiance of the. I stopped adding sound effects to the videos, so this is Chris is making up for it. Thank you so much, a strange, deep voice replies. It always wise to bring lost wild animals to the zoo. We can protect them here. This bat will be much happier with all the other bats in the bat house. Bat house? Zoo? Is this guy serious, you wonder? Suddenly the bag opens wide and you are nudged out. You flap your wings, confused and disoriented, then you hear a cage door shut. The flutter of hundreds of bat wings. There are bats everywhere, swarming around you, swooping down on you. You head for the corner, terrified. A large bat zooms overhead and brushes up against you. You try to blend into the wall, but the bat moves closer and closer. Too bad. It looks as if this bat is batty over you. The end. So Ty got fucked by a bat, I guess.
Nice.
Wait a minute. This was your guys who said you wanted to go see the muscle man. I'm the only one who didn't say that.
No, I wanted to go to the leader.
You wanted to eat.
So we'll say
you wanted to eat the bat. That's why.
You wanted to eat a bat. So
I mean, you wanted
visited
to
Martin.
eat the bug.
So now I got bat fucked. So let's recap really quick where we all are. Chris went home and played bad board games with his little brother. Tom got shot by the police. And I got bat fucked.
This goes all.
Here's the thing. When you got bat fucked, we all watched. Canonically, we're all there.
Everybody knew.
I was watching from heaven, I guess.
Oh, jeez, guys, I can't believe I got
from heaven.
fucked.
I'm dead.
Alright, so then I went back to the decision of whose house we're going to go to. So it's either Laura or Marcy. Who would like to make this decision? It sounds like both of you have a different decision.
Girl.
You what?
Move over here.
I want to go to the hot girl's house, and I think Jason wants to go to the weird girl's house.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you guys want to rock, paper, scissors to figure out which one of those we go to? Or does one of you secede?
We can go to Jason's. I don't care. We can start there.
Okay. We'll go to Marcy's house then. She's the team leader. So page 5.
Page 5, man, we're going way back.
We were on page 137. That's literally the end of. That's the final page in the book. You want Marcy's help? You swoop around in the neighborhood looking for Marcy's family name on a mailbox. At last, you find it in front of a small 2-story brick house. You peer into the windows until you find Marcy alone in the living room. She seems to be babysitting her little brother, who's about 2 years old. You find an open window, then fly into the house. You perch on a curtain in the living room. Below, Marcy and her brother are playing a game with cardboard letters. While you watch, Marcy move some of the letters. C-A-T, Marcy tells her brother. That spells cat, Daryl. Can you say cat? I'm hungry, the little boy says. I'll get some Jell-O, Marcy says. See if you can spell cat. She disappears into the hall. What luck, you think. The letters are small and lightweight. You're sure you'd be able to move them yourself and write out a message to Marcy. You swoop down to the floor. The letters are in a big box. You start to sort through the letters. Then Daryl suddenly reaches for you. Doggy, he cried, and grabs one of your wings and pulls on 42.
If we get ripped apart by a kid, this is the best ending it could be.
I'm not a dog, you squeak at the boy. You pull away, he pulls back. You're finally free. Doggy, Daryl repeats and reaches for you again. I'm almost through, Marcy calls from the kitchen. You have to move fast. You grab a claw full of letters and fly to the other side of the room. Daryl starts crawling towards you. Quickly, you arrange the letters and a message. Help me, I am Bat. You place the last letter just as Daryl reaches you. He grabs you, but you fly up the ceiling and perch on the chandelier. Marcy returns to the living room with a bowl of Jell-O. Here's something to eat, she tells her brother, then notices the message. Did you do that, Daryl? She asks him. Did you fucking do that? Did you? I can't believe it. You're a fucking genius. That's crazy. That's wild. It was me! Squeak from the ceiling to let Marcy know who really wrote the message. You swoop down. She takes one look at you and shrieks. She grabs the fly swatter from the table and begins swatting at you. This is no good. Should you give up on Marcy and escape or try once more to communicate with her? Either escape or try to communicate. Jason, this is all you.
Communicate.
Try to communicate? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I think what we have here is a failure to communicate.
Marcy chases you all to the room, swatting. Stop, you squeak. I'm not a bat, I'm a human. But you can't hear your words. How can you get her to recognize you? You glance down at the cardboard letters on the floor and get an idea. You fake her out with a quick twist and then swoop towards the letters. You grab the H and fly up to the top of the bookcase with it. Put that down, Marcy shrieks. You put it down, all right. Yeah, you put it down. You lean against a book where she can see it. Then, flying as fast as you can, you grab a letter E and place that next to the letter that you spelled out.
How many books
Marcy still
and how many
the fly swatter
Goosebumps
up.
books?
What?
I was just wondering, how many Goosebumps books do you transform into an animal then need to communicate with a friend?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
quite a
real.
few.
And how many ways has he figured out how to make that work?
Marcy still holds the fly swatter up ready to hit you, but now she's staring at you curiously. Quickly, you add the letter L and the P and the H and the E. You manage to spell help on top of the bookshelf. You hover near Marcy. If you could cross your webbed fingers, you would. Marcy gazes at the letters on the bookshelf. Then she stares at you, glances back at the letters. It was you, she finally says. It wasn't Daryl. It was you who made the message. It was fucking, it's a bat. It was the bat that did it. You feel like chilling, but all you can do is squeak. Quickly, you swoop back down for more letters. Turn to page 50. I think we did it. I think we did it, boys. I can't believe
It was me all
message.
along.
Marcy exclaims. She beckons you to you. Here, bat. Here, bat. Let me get you a better look. Let me look at you. Let me get a better. Get over here, you fucking critter. Gratefully, you fly over to her. Quick as a cat, she grabs you and shoves you in a drawer. Hey, you squeak, let me out of here. This is so cool, you hear Marcy saying. A bat that can spell. We can go on TV. We'll be famous. I'm not a bat, you cry. I'm a human. Let me finish my message. But Marcy isn't interested in your message. I'll find a box to put you in, she says to herself. Your super bad ears hear her leave the room. A moment later, the door opens. Daryl's wide eyes stare at you. Doggy, he cries. Turn to page 132. I think you're gonna get ripped apart by a child.
Yep. It feels like that scene from Christmas Story.
I chose this life.
Oh,
Leave me alone, kid,
oh.
you squeak. Crawl out of the drawer and swoop over to the letters you've decided to spell out your name. That way Marcy will know the bat is really you. You start searching through the pile of letters. You hear Daryl moving toward you. You search faster. Daryl's toddling closer, but he's so excited that he falls down. You found the first letter of your name. Quickly, you search for the others. You've just finished finding all the letters in your name when Daryl reaches you. You look up to see him towering over you. He's about to lose his balance again. He reaches for the cabinet to steady himself. Be careful, you squeak. You're going to pull the... Crash. Whoops. Daryl pulled the cabinet over. Unfortunately, it was very heavy. Even more important, you were directly underneath it. Too bad. Now you won't even get to be on TV. Unless they come up with a show called Flat Pet Tricks. The end. You got squished by a cabinet.
I want to go to the
hospital
with Laura, which is Ty's decision now.
Glad they didn't kill, like, the toddler with the cabinet. I was like,
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that. I was just like, ooh, this is a little too real at the moment.
What's about to happen, guys? Yeah.
God, can we stop?
Can we stop? I don't like where this is going.
118. That kid murdered you, Jason. Like, fucking cold as ice. Are we all gonna die? Is this just like, we're all...
Apparently. Well, Ty,
maybe we can't communicate. So here's, Ty is the final bat. He's the final bat. So if Ty dies, all the decisions are for you to make the final call on now, Ty.
Okay,
And
all right.
whatever we get is the final ending. You fly through the neighborhood, checking out mailboxes. At last you find a box with Laura's last name on it. You glide up to the house and you see Laura sitting on her bed, the phone beside her. The window's open, but you don't want to fly in and freak her out after what you saw happen to your two other friends. You land quietly on the windowsill when she's not looking. You sneak in and perch on a picture frame above Laura's bed and watch. She punches a number into the phone. Hello, Marcy, she says. It's Laura. Uh-huh, right. I've got a cool idea. Can you meet me at the mall tomorrow? Great. 3 o'clock at the phone? Okay, bye. She hangs up and punches in another number. This time she talks to Martin. She tells him to meet her at the mall too. Now she punches in another shorter number. Hello, information, she says. I'd like a number of someone who had just moved to town. He tells the operator your name and writes it down the number. This is great. Laura's going to call you. You like her best of all the kids you've met. Finally, you're making friends in this town. I'm right here, you squeak. I'm right
By
here.
far the hottest. Hey, baby.
Page 76. What was that noise? Laura cries, glancing up. And then she sees you. A bat! She shrieks. Gross, a bat! She jumps off the bed and tears out of the room. That ain't it. A moment later, she returns with a big can of bug spray. Oh, Jesus Christ. Get out of her. She turns the nozzle at you and presses her finger down on the spray button. You don't know if the bug spray can hurt bats, but you don't want to find out. You swoop out of the window before the spray can reaches you. Don't come back, Laura screams, slamming the window shut. You're so upset you can barely flap your wings. As you fly home, how are you even going to get anyone to help you? Will you have to remain a bat for the rest of your life? You slip into your room, wondering what to do. You flutter over to your bed. There's a note on the pillow from your mom. Laura called. Meet her at the fountain in the mall at 3. You immediately feel better. Laura invited you to the mall with Marcy and Martin. You've definitely been accepted by these new kids. Maybe they'll be able to help you. All you have to do is find a way to get to the mall without being fried by the sun. Will you be able to do it? Swoop on over to page 133. Yes, it does say that.
Hell yeah.
This is a decision page.
Okay.
The next morning, you wake up as a kid again. You're pretty sure you can avoid being toasted if you stay out of the sun as much as possible and really cover up. To be safe, you wear a hat, sunglasses, muffler, and gloves. Why are you dressed like that? Marcy asks when you meet her with friends at the mall. She and the others laugh, and then she says, my idiot brother killed a bat last night in my living room. And the other one goes, yeah, my dad caught a bat and sent it to the zoo, and I think it got bat fucked in front of all of its bat friends. Maybe we were wrong about you, Martin teases. Maybe you're too weird for the horror club. Why are you wearing all those clothes? Marcy asks again.
Licking her lips. Productively.
Wearing all those clothes. You better rethink this. You'd hate to lose the only friends you have. My mom, you say, rolling your eyes. I'm getting a cold, and this is what she did to me. My mom's the same way, Laura agrees sympathetically. You'll have to wait for a better time to tell them the truth. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you should really tell them right now. So what's the plan, you ask?
Can they handle the truth?
Check out a new science store. Laura suggests. I miss, what was the name of the one in the mall? It was like the
Zany
WTN.
Brainy?
What?
Oh, Zany Brainy had some like
Zany
some
Brainy
science
was also
stuff.
kick-ass. There was one in the mall though. It was named after like it was like the WTTW store or something like that in the mall. Anyway.
The Warner Brothers store?
No, that's different. That's not science. It was a science store. Let's check out the new science store, Laura suggests. I'd rather go to the movies, Martin says. Dracula is about to start. Is it like 1950? Let's let the newest member of the horror club decide, Marcy says, turning to you. It's up to you now. If you choose to check out the science store, turn to page 73. If you'd rather see Dracula, go to page 108.
Science store. And there was a Dracula in the 90s. There was Keanu Reeves. Bram Stoker's.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's the 90s.
But R.L. Stein wrote this, so yeah, it's the original Dracula.
The kids
he hasn't been to a movie in a while.
Everybody knows that. Oh, I'm so fucking jealous you got the D&D cup. I just noticed that. I got the dice, at least. But yeah, okay, wait, so which decision did you make?
Oh, I'm going to the science store.
Science store, okay, so that's 73. I feel like if you were to go to Dracula, you'd be like, guys, I'm a vampire, and they'd be like, stop fucking around, idiot, and then, like, you'd never...
Well, I feel like they tell you, like, shut up, don't talk in the movie, you know?
Shut the fuck up.
Isn't that, like, rated R?
Dracula. Turn to page 73.
Gary Oldman one, yeah, probably not the Bela Lugosi one.
Let's check out the science store, you tell your friends. Maybe there will be something there that will help you with your problem. Cool, Laura exclaims. She leads the way to the upper level. A big banner hangs in front of the store declaring Uncle Ed's Science Emporium.
This place got a lot shadier.
I don't trust... Did Uncle Ed do his own research?
Uncle Ed does not have
I don't know, I did a lot
degree.
of research, guys, and I don't know if this Uncle Ed guy's on the right level. Uncle Ed definitely was an anti-vaxxer. This looks promising, I guess. You push through the door and the others follow you. Look at all this great gear, Martin says. It's the 90s, so there's like a billion spy kits for some fucking reason.
No, it's the 90s. It's all like those mood rings and like those holographic medallions and like incense and like the Tesla coil ball thing.
Oh, the pulse balls. Pulse balls.
Yeah.
All right. Look at all this great gear, Martin says. There's all kinds of kits and experiments. Cool, Marcy points to an exhibit where you can examine your own fingerprints under a magnifying glass. What are those? Laura asks. You follow her to the exhibit of tropical insects. The insects are inside a glass case. Is this a zoo? What the fuck?
Am I going to eat these books?
Fascination.
Hell yeah.
Oh no. They're all colors of the rainbow, and some beetles are as big as mice. Yuck, Laura says. I would never fuck a guy who eats beetles. She says it, making the situation 10 times more dire.
You try it at least.
Yep.
You don't pay any attention. Staring at the insects has reminded you how hungry you are. Instead of flying around and eating a couple dozen moths, you could eat just one of those beetles for a whole meal. No. Tell yourself, no, fuck no. But as you continue to gaze at the beetles, your mouth begins to water. Suddenly, the bat in you takes over. Page 41.
Oh no, I don't have a choice.
Oh, no
You can't
choice.
help yourself. You've never seen such a great display of bugs again. You'll never see such a great display of bugs again. Quickly, you lift the lid on the exhibit, grab the biggest beetle, and pop it into your mouth. Gross, Laura screams. Crunch goes the beetle. Martin Scorsese and Marcy rush over to the exhibit. Martin was Martin Scorsese the whole time, by the way.
I don't think
his
so.
last
I
name.
don't think so.
Watch, Laura.
Yeah, it's pretty sure.
Watch, Laura says, pointing to you in horror. You know your friends are staring at you, but you can't stop yourself. You pop a beetle after beetle into your mouth. We tricked Tiny.
Pop a beetle after
bug
beetle.
guys.
Not even just one, all of the bugs. We said we were going to have just one.
Crunch deliciously between your teeth. You don't stop eating until the police arrive and arrest you for shoplifting rare insects.
Better go for the gun.
Yep, probably.
You go for the gun. You end up in jail, but it isn't that bad. You have one of your friends there. Well, your mom and dad bail you out in less than an hour, and while you hang upside down in the cell bars, you come up with the most amazing idea. An idea that makes you a millionaire. For days afterward, you work in a kitchen, and in the backyard, you chop, you mix, you taste, you add more ingredients, and taste again. Perfect! You have created the biggest craze in ice cream since Rocky Road. You make a fortune with your new flavor, Beetle Berry Crunch. Shh!
Oh.
Please don't give away the secret ingredient, the one that gives it that delicious.
It's not that secret, or else.
The end. Okay, so I guess Ty got a good ending.
I am a local entrepreneur now, and I sell beetles.
Is that really what happened? I thought you were making that up, Dave.
No, that's literally what happened. That's the same thing.
Local entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Bat boy.
So as a recap, I got bat fucked in bat prison. That's what happened. I got bat fucked in bat prison, guys. Chris went home and played dumb board game with his stupid ass brother. Ty got arrested. Ty also got arrested, but it worked out.
It worked out.
Jason got crushed by a bookshelf. I think Jason got it the worst because Jason's the only one who actually died.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, we
made it so you got shot by the police, but it really, like, you just got arrested. But like, Jason really died.
Dave, Jason really died, but did I ever truly live?
No.
No.
Yeah.
There you go.
Never did.
You're never a bat. You never got to eat bat. Well, you probably love the ice cream though. You don't know anything about it though. You know what ice cream is? It's a delicious crunch. That's what I think ice cream means.
Little do we know, we actually like eat crap like that all the time.
It's all bugs all the way down.
Like your imitation vanilla extract is made from like beaver glands.
Yeah.
You knew that, right?
Yeah, and like, isn't Jello made out of like horse bones or something? Something like that.
Yeah, well,
Jello and glue.
And glue.
Yeah.
And I love.
Well, also,
and people eat glue.
Isn't it Red 40 that's actually made out of beetles? No joke. Like color dye.
Yeah, no, I heard about that. There's also a type of cheese I read that has mites in it. That, like as you're eating it, it just has mites in it. Anyway, that was Reader Beware. You choose the scare. Give Yourself Goosebumps number 3, Trapped in Batwing Hall.
What was the hall?
I don't know if you would have turned into
herpes.
So here's the thing. I don't know if you would have turned into a bat if you did the other choice. Because it says the members of the horror club are going on a scavenger hunt. If you join the red team, you find out the truth about your new friends. They're actually monsters. One is a green-skinned reptile, the other's a hulking giant. And if you join the blue team, you get turned into a furry-faced vampire bat. So, like, I think it's got like a completely different story if you choose the other side.
The other one would have been cooler.
Yeah, we got turned into a fucking bat and then just mutilated and bat-fucked. And if I turn in just $8.95 with $20 shipping, I can get this cool coffin with a watch. A digital watch.
Oh my.
So that's
awesome.
neat. Yeah. And with that, we are the Mythos Mystery Society, brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, don't get bat-fucked in bat prison.
Always go for the gun.
Do sell bad
Always
ice
go
cream.
for the gun.
Every time.